So, what if I told you that there's a 300-year-old guide to liberating your own mind, and it's probably more relevant today than ever before? We're taking a look at a manuscript by the philosopher Mary Estelle. It's basically a radical toolkit for thinking for yourself, and its power is absolutely timeless.
Right out of the gate, Estelle just throws down the gauntlet. She's not here to make us feel good or comfortable. She's asking a really direct question. Are you genuinely ready to examine your most deeply held beliefs, or are you just here looking for someone to agree with you? It's a question you have to ask yourself before any of this can even start.
So, what's the big problem Estelle is trying to tackle? She calls it the tyranny of custom, which she describes as a kind of disease of the understanding. And here's the kicker. She says it affects every single one of us. It's this unthinking, almost automatic obedience to the way things have always been.
Estelle gives us this incredibly powerful metaphor. She says most of us walk through our entire lives as if we're in a darkened art gallery. All the pictures on the walls, those are the ideas we inherit from our family, our society, our station in life. But we almost never stop to turn on the lights and actually look at them. We don't ask, is this picture true? Is it right? Do I even like it? We just accept the gallery as it is, darkness and all.
To really get this, we have to understand what she means by custom. This isn't just about, traditions like family recipes or holidays. It's the entire set of mental habits we soak up without even realizing it. Think of it like the invisible operating system running in the background of your mind, shaping your thoughts before you even decide to think for yourself.
Now, Estelle's no absolutist. She's fair, and she makes a really crucial distinction here. She says not all custom is bad. There's useful custom, which is basically a practical shortcut for survival. It's what teaches a kid, hey, don't touch the fire. But then there's pernicious custom, and this stuff is insidious. It's what passes down harmful prejudices as if they were facts of nature, like the toxic idea that some groups of people are just born better than others.
And this, right here, is her core argument against blindly following tradition. It's so brilliant. Just because an idea is ancient doesn't make it true. Just because a system has been in place for centuries doesn't make it just. An error is still an error, and a chain is still a chain, no matter how old and rusty it is.
Okay, so if we're living under this tyranny of custom, what are the actual chains holding us in place? Well, Estelle gets really specific about the forces that work to keep our minds locked down.
One of the biggest obstacles, she argues, is education itself. I mean, just look at this table representing her time. For men, education was logic, philosophy, mathematics, the tools you need for critical thought. For women, dancing, music, needlework. For Estelle, the educational system, especially for women, wasn't built to foster real thinking. It was designed to create conformity. It taught what to think, not how to think.
And then there's the tyranny of words. Estelle warns us to be really careful with these big, abstract, emotionally loaded words. You know the ones. Fate, duty, the public good. They're often used as conversation stoppers. They're a way to enforce an idea without ever having to justify it with reason. When someone says, it's just your duty, what they often mean is, stop asking questions and just do what I say.
And finally, Estelle points the finger right back at us, at the battle inside our own minds. We are all powerfully biased to believe whatever benefits us, or whatever we wish were true. She says our passions and our self-interest are like a thumb secretly pressing down on the scales of justice, constantly working to corrupt our judgment, often without us even knowing it's happening.
So if custom, a flawed education, manipulative language, and our own passions are the disease, what's the cure? For Estelle, the answer is personal, and it's incredibly powerful. It's the active, conscious cultivation of our own sovereign reason.
Now, to get her cure, you have to get what she means by reason. This isn't about being a cold, heartless calculator. For her, reason is the divine spark inside of us. It's the very thing that makes us fully human, the faculty that lets us rise above pure instinct and actually grasp things that are true.
And here's the best part. She doesn't just talk about it in the abstract. She gives us a practical 5-step method for thinking clearly. 1. Only accept what you know for sure is true. 2. Break every big problem down into smaller, manageable pieces. 3. Build your argument logically from the simplest idea up to the most complex. 4. Go back and review everything to make sure you haven't missed a step. And 5, this one is so important, always, always define your terms.
So why does all of this matter so much? Why go to all this trouble? Because for Estelle, this is way more than just a fun mental exercise.
The stakes could not be higher. This is about connecting how we think to how we live, and ultimately, how we can actually be free.
She builds this beautiful logical equation for what a free life looks like. And it all starts with this simple but really profound premise. To make the choice to live a life that's guided by reason is to live a life of virtue. But for Estelle, virtue isn't about blindly following a list of rules someone else gave you. It's about using your own reason to figure out for yourself what is genuinely good, and then having the courage to live by that understanding. And to live that life of rationally chosen virtue, well, that is the only way to be truly free. We're not talking about the freedom to do whatever you feel like at any given moment. This is a much deeper freedom. It's the freedom that comes from self-government, from being the ruler of your own mind.
And this might be her most revolutionary idea of all. In an age of incredibly rigid hierarchies, she stood up and declared that the capacity for reason, this key to virtue, this key to freedom, is a universal human birthright. It belongs to every single person, equally, no exceptions.
And so we end up right back where we started, with Astell's challenge echoing across 300 years and landing right in our laps. It's an invitation, really, to begin our own liberation of the understanding. So the question for you is, what comfortable illusion, what picture on the wall of your own darkened gallery are you brave enough to truly examine today?